Well, good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, July 24th. It's 7:30 in the morning here in San Antonio, and I'm on my way out to go for a ride with some of my friends, and I thought I would take you along with me and chat about a few things that I've been thinking about for the last couple of days. This week I was on an online forum discussing some things with some fellow motovloggers. And one of the things that came up in the discussion was that it seems to be an ongoing challenge with many of us to come up with content. And as you know, content is everything. And I have that same challenge because I call my vlog Moto Meditation, stuff I think about while I'm riding. And you know, it's pretty egotistical to believe that anybody else would be interested in stuff I think about while I'm riding. So during the conversation, I had mentioned my age. I mentioned that I was 75. And I also mentioned that I had just returned from a 5-day bike trip up to Canyon de Chelly in Arizona by myself. And so one of the guys asked a question. He said, Pat, how long have you been riding motorcycles? And I had never really thought about that. So I did some calculations, and I said, well, I guess I've been riding for about 60 years because my first motorcycle was a little Vespa when I was 14 or 15 years old, and I threw a paper route on it. And then from that I had a variety of smaller bikes as I grew older, and then I graduated into my first bike, I think it was in 1976, and it was a Harley Superglide Bicentennial Edition, and it had a beautifully decorated tank with an eagle on it, and it was pretty cool, and I just loved that bike. And I rode that bike for a while until I decided to take my first road trip, and it didn't have a windshield, and I was on it for 10 days with some buddies from Chicago up in Colorado, and it was a great trip. But after riding for 10 days with no windshield, I decided if I'm going to do any more long road trips, I'd better get a different bike. So I moved into a big 1989 Electroglide Classic, which I still have. It's still sitting in the garage like a museum. I retired it to get what I'm riding now is a Yamaha FJR 1300. So anyway, that's a long way around. One of the guys asked me how long I've been riding. I said 60 years, and he said, you know, I think maybe you have an angle there for your content. He said, I think a lot of people might be interested in what you've learned in 60 years of riding motorcycles. And you know, I'd really never thought about that before because I just am 75. I don't particularly like it, but I can't do anything about it. So maybe I'll start talking a little bit about what it's like to be an old biker. And I suggested to them that, you know, all the young kids, they do wheelies and fuck this and fuck that all the time, so that seems to get them some subscribers. So maybe I could do an old man on wheelies motovlog. Don't know if I'll do that today, but who knows. But yeah, getting old is something to talk about. My good friend Bill Zahner, who passed away a couple of years ago at age 86, and we were riding motorcycles together almost to the end. Took a couple of trips to Sturgis together, and Bill always said, you know, getting old is fun. Being old really sucks. But then he'd follow up, unless you know how to do it right. And Bill did know how to do it right, and he taught me a lot of things about how to do it right getting old. So I'm really grateful that I'm out here this morning at 75 riding a motorcycle, and I'm grateful that I'm riding a sport touring bike, not a big old Harley that's 2 wheels short of a car, or on a trike. I don't mean to denigrate the old guys who have to do that, but I think motorcycling is a great way to stay young. And I've been riding motorcycles for 60 years, and fortunately I've never had an accident in those 60 years, so I must be doing something right. And just last week I took a motorcycle safety course. I had to because I got a speeding ticket out in Bandera about a month or so ago, and in order to get it dismissed, they mandated that I take the motorcycle safety course. So I couldn't take the driver safety course. I had to take the motorcycle safety course. And I didn't want to take the beginner's course, which is 2 days, which is to learn how to ride. So I was looking for an advanced course, and I found one, and it was a half day, and it was a really good experience. I mean, I learned a lot. I didn't take the attitude, well, hell, I don't need this class because I've been riding all these years. You develop a lot of bad habits they were not even aware of. And you know, one of the hardest things about this class for me was slow riding. I learned some good techniques about slow riding, and in the future vlog I may share some of those with you. But on this vlog this morning we might meet another one of my old friends. He's 73, I think, and he's still riding. We're going to go out to a little town called Comfort, Texas, and have breakfast and sit around and have some interesting conversation. So stick around, and I hope we can put some interesting content on here. And be nice to old people. Oh, and just a quick little afterthought. If you happen to be a person who sells tickets or cashier or in movie theater, don't ever give the senior discount to somebody if they don't ask for it. That was my first experience when I was really confronted with the fact that I was entering what Bill Zahner used to call Geezerhood, when she gave me the senior discount and I didn't even ask for it. So wait for them to ask for it, and if they do ask for it, then the next thing you do is ask for their ID. Most of them will love it. So here I am at Rudy's. This is our hangout. For many years we've been meeting here on Saturday mornings, and sometimes this whole lot is full of motorcycles in different groups. And we had a group of guys, 5. Bill Zahner gave us a name. He called us Los Viagras. A bunch of old guys, old guy bikers. But some of them have died, and others have just decided to quit riding motorcycles, and the ones that are left, they're not too adventurous anymore. They just want to go out when it's cool. I can't get them to take any long rides. But it's unfortunate. So I'm working real hard to stay on my motorcycle because I don't want to grow up to be an old man doing nothing but sitting on the front porch yelling at the kids to get off my front yard.